Quite a good crowd in here at Marathon Stadium, probably 14 to 15,000. Kelvin Jeffs is the man charged with the controlling of today's fixture, and we'll be looking to clean up in the lifting of the players. The ARL have issued some new rules as far as the lifting of the players. Adam Muir was on the end of one last week, copping a week suspension, or one match suspension, which ruled him out of the City Country game. But he won't mind as Brad Mackay gets us underway, and it's a deep kick to down inside Newcastle's 10-metre. And Mark Glanville, one of the players backing up from Friday night's fixture, has the first hit up for the Newcastle Knights. Wayne Richards had a couple of seasons with the Illawarra Steelers, now back home, as he calls it, with Newcastle, and playing exceptional football as Newcastle get the first penalty of the match. Illawarra caught up inside the 10.
Yeah, good penalty here from Kelvin Jeffs. I suppose if we want to see a good open attacking game, Kelvin will have to get these teams wide apart. I'm sure Tony Butterfield really wanted to take that ball to the Illawarra line. Leo Dynevor with a kick out.
Dynevor under a bit of an injury cloud prior to this game, but has come through. Butterfield, he'll wanting to be reminding the selectors that he's still around at the ripe old age of 31. And he's in very, very good form too, as Wayne Richards gets it inside Illawarra's territory by about 6 or 7 metres. Glanville, the decoy to Muir, runs straight over the top of Smith. Back to Glanville. Dynevor cuts out one to Gidley. Gidley now trying to link up with his backs, but taken in a head-on tackle, and a very good tackle there too. Billy Peden. Newcastle 25 metres out. Jackson doing it himself. Gets it inside the 20. Butterfield at dummy home. Dynevor goes to the air. Albert the flyer coming through. Reeves under pressure, lost the side of it. And the penalty is going to go to Illawarra. That ball swirling around there. Andrew Johnson, Paul Harragon in shot. Chief out of... There's been plenty of penalties so far. Robinson about to get play underway again. Does so. Scott Cram. Still no score. Trent Barrett cuts out two to Johnny Cross. Cross nearly through the gap. Gives a brilliant ball away to Reeves. Reeves for the line. Davison's coming across and gets him in a touch. Sensational tackle. Try-saving tackle by Robbie O'Davis.
Oh, wasn't it ever? That's just amazing play by Robbie. And a great ball there inside to a flying Reeves. Brendan Reeves there just taking the ball forward. Just watch this. This is an amazing handoff here. John Cross it was. It looks like he's dead for all money, and then he pops the ball out to the back to Reeves. Watch Robbie O'Davis come across from the right of your screen here. He really knew what he had to do, and Reeves couldn't do anything but full foul to that tackle from Robbie O'Davis. That's great football.
5 gone for the Steers. Glen Eyre with the ball. Now to Trent Barrett. Kicking into open space. Not a great deal on, but that's a pretty good kick into the in-goal area for Newcastle. O'Davis should have plenty of time to run it out. And can't beat the tackle of Barrett. That's an excellent piece of play from the young 5'8". Darren Albert is straight through the hole. He's got one to beat. Irons tripped just before he got to Brendan Reeves. The crowd was anticipating Albert being away. Newcastle on a bit of a roll. Robbie O'Davis. And the Steelers ping for men up inside the 10. That's just about a professional foul.
Well, it's pretty unfortunate for Darren Albert. He couldn't maintain his footing.
I think they've got a new crowd favourite here, haven't they, Darren Albert?
He's an exciting prospect, Neil, and a lot of people talking about him as a State of Origin winger.
Well, I did hold his own for sure. Mike is an excellent player.
Tony Butterfield. Mia David. And also Tunbridge, the tacklers. Wayne Richards, straight and hard once again. Thrown to the ground by Mackay. They're inside the 20, Newcastle. Dynevor. Just popping it up for Muir. They've used that ploy on plenty of occasions with great success, as I said earlier. O'Davis. Dynevor once again. Long pass to Gidley. Gidley taking it to the line. Face ball to Owen Craigie. Craigie's got strength, but they hold him up and force him into touch. Elbow into touch. Good call. 11 from the halfway. Robinson once again. Barrett. Cut out pass to McGregor. Nearly a shepherd there with David. The crowd called for it. McGregor's still going. Look at the strength of McGregor, and Seru is in a touch. So the game's got a bit of everything.
Yes. There's Paul McGregor here giving Owen Craigie all sorts of trouble. as Craigie. This is when he finally got him, but he turned Craigie inside and out 3 or 4 times. Seru just picking the ball up, a loose one out the back from McGregor, and that was the foot that went over the sideline, his right foot. And that's where they're paying the price. Over the last 4 or 5 games, they've been very good at that, and that's where they've been creating room for their back line.
Yeah, well, I agree with totally. That's what I said earlier, that, you know, they've got to settle themselves down a bit. Take the yards through their forwards. They love the second phase playing Newcastle, and it's just not happening at the moment. If they settle themselves down, I'm sure it'll come to them eventually.
Smith got it away to McGregor. They've got an overlap and they've got support. This time they'll score the try. Glenayre has got 8 metres to go, 5 metres, and he's in. Great try there to Glenayre. McGregor again, the man doing the danger on the short side. They just opened him up. Newcastle fell off a couple of tackles. McGregor was through, gave it inside to Ware, and Illawarra score the first points of the match.
There's the ball. Great ball there from Craig Smith, I think it was. Here's McGregor again down the short side. Owen Craigie side. I don't know if that's a ploy. There's Glenayre backing up on the inside. That's a terrific try by Illawarra. Robbie O'Davis just chasing in vain there. Glenayre was never going to be stopped from there. Good try to the Illawarra Steelers.
Yeah, well, this bloke here is outstanding at the moment, McGregor. They can't control him. A good ball back inside. It was just because Newcastle's defence was caught out. This bloke, nice and easy try from the half-back, but I just think Newcastle need to lift themselves a little bit if they're going to get away with this one.
Once again, here it is, and Bristow did very well there to stand in the tackle and offload to the front rower in Craig Smith, and he did extremely well here. Popped the pass to McGregor, and he had support either side for McGregor. Gave it inside to Glenayre, and away they scooted. Robbie O'Davis chased very hard, but couldn't peg him back, and that's the opening points in the match here. To the young halfback in Glenayre. Round the corner, moves in, strikes it, and it's just going to be waved away. So with 15.5 minutes remaining here at Marathon Stadium, Illawarra lead Newcastle 4-0. Barrett decide to run at Illawarra. McGregor again gets around Craigie very easily, dummies around Cochrane. McGregor is still going, flicks it behind him, straight in the arms at Craigie. But Paul McGregor is stitching Owen Craigie up, something shocking.
You know, he's making Owen Craigie look very ordinary at the moment, which of course he isn't. And Illawarra just carrying on with that in that ruck there, giving Newcastle very much a relieving penalty. But Owen Craigie at the moment, he's in the spotlight. He's got a rampaging McGregor running at him full steam.
To the grandstand side of Marathon Stadium go the Steelers. McGregor, the danger man, gets it back inside of his old mate Brett Rodwell. Now at dummy half. McGregor goes to the short side. Still able to pop the pass back to Rodwell. That looked forward and been called so. McGregor says, what have I done wrong, sir?
You'd probably hear the call come from the crowd initially there, but I think it was, yeah, certainly was just slotted forward there to Rodwell. You talked about their combination, Mike. Well, that's there's Andrew Farah. Be pretty happy with his side's performance at this stage. He's a very, very good coach and a very nice fellow, Andrew Farah, doing a great job with Illawarra at the moment.
Thanks for the wrap. 21 metres out, the Steelers now. Cram. There's that little bit of a lifting motion there too from Scott Conley. They've got to be very careful these days, these players. The ARL have made the new rules. Here's McGregor again. Craigie's got him this time, but look at the strength of Paul McGregor. Still had that arm free, Neil Baker, to pop the pass.
You're not wrong, but, you know, I think Owen's just a little bit hesitant with him. If he just goes in and tries to get him a little bit around the legs or something like that, instead of trying to grab him high all the time, he's just too strong for that.
5 metres short of that position. Dynevor just throws the pass up to Adam Muir once again. Gets it back, Leo Dynevor. Straight past Gidley to Richards. Now to O'Davis. Puts on the step. Turns it back inside to Moodie. Moodie goes straight ahead. He's straight through Jason Moodie. Reeves is the only man that can stop him, but he won't. He scores the try. Jason Moodie. They spread it wide to Robbie O'Davis, who was having a bit of a camp down near the halfway line. Half exhausted Robbie O'Davis, but Jason Moodie went through some flimsy Illawarra defence to level the scores here at Marathon Stadium.
Oh, just watch this. Robbie O'Davis didn't expect this ball. This was the second or even third fade. Just slots out there. There's the inside flick pass to Jason Moodie. Craig Smith coming across there, just falling off that. And also, he was the only one that really put any hands on him, Jason Moodie. Well, I thought he was going a little bit quicker than this. Brendan Reeves did quite well to come over because he collared him and he could have easily jolted that ball through, but a good try from Jason Moodie.
Certainly was, but Robbie O'Davis, he's Muir here. This is the offload. It was a great offload from Muir. Strong up top. They went too high on him. Out to Robbie O'Davis, who was just sitting out there having a bit of a spell, but he's got the ball, takes the ball to the line, just pops a nice little pass back inside. You watch this pass, this little flick pass back inside to Moodie, which is a good ball. Moodie can't believe his luck. John Cross fell off him, Smith fell off him. I thought it was shut the gate here, but he sort of didn't put his head down and go to the line, but then he realised he had to go a bit harder with a fullback coming across. Great try to Newcastle. Puts the ball down here and now, and it's a good try.
Minutes. Moves in. And by gee, that only just snuck inside the left-hand upright too. And Newcastle, with 4 minutes remaining in the first half, lead 6-4. Gets it within about 6 of the halfway. And we're inside the last minute at Marathon Stadium in the first half. Cram just floats a little ball back inside for his hooking partner in Robinson, who offloads to Rodwell. Rodwell still going. O'Davis is there. Last line of defence with Gidley. 22 out the Steelers. Air once again. Long ball to Timmins. Timmins thought about the pass, then held onto it and goes to ground. Last tackle now for the Steelers. 8 seconds remaining in the half. Bristow throws it to Ware. He's tackled. Ball goes forward. And that will be the turnover. And that should be half-time. And there is the siren, and referee Kelvin Jeff signals half-time here at Marathon Stadium, with the Newcastle Knights leading the Illawarra Steelers 6 points to 4, 1 try apiece. Jason Moodie for Newcastle and Glen Eyre for Illawarra. Robbie O'Davis is the difference. He's kicked that conversion attempt for Newcastle. So at half-time here at Marathon Stadium, in front of a pretty good crowd, Newcastle 6 lead the Illawarra Steelers 4.
The Illawarra Steelers.
I'd like to welcome the Bishop of Newcastle to the day's proceedings.
And what happened in the dressing rooms, Bakes? Did you go there?
The toilet, yeah, I did.
Rocky. Newcastle ahead by 2 points at Marathon Stadium. Still not a cloud in the sky. Perfect conditions for football, and we should see a very good 40 minutes of footy coming up here. Newcastle leading 6-4. So Illawarra just trying to work it out of their own area. A couple of heavy tackles early for Newcastle, and the penalty goes. Kelvin Jeffs will not tolerate people lying on the tackled player. Two. Inside the 20, the Steelers. Robinson again. Air. Pass to Barrett. Goes himself, Trent Barrett. Steps straight around Billy Peden. It was a desperate tackle by Butterfield that halted his progress. Air once again cuts out one across. Trying to link up with his backs. Timmins, short ball to Clifford. Clifford close to touch, into touch. Good tackle there by Jason Moodie, and the Knights will get the feed at the scrum that goes down 10 metres out. Cochrane, Gidley, Peden. They just seem to shift it a couple across from the ruck, and then it's nothing, just take it up. Here's Butterfield, wasn't expecting, he was expecting to run the decoy. And the penalty will go Illawarra, caught up inside. So Newcastle about 28 metres out. They lead by 2. Andrew Johns looks like coming back next week against the Gold Coast, and Newcastle are going to have a shot here, and they will be looking forward to Andrew Johns making a return. Talking this morning, though, he's still a little bit of proppy on that ankle of his, and he's not kicking with fluency. And almost no bruise to speak about. Moves in, strikes it pretty well. The flags go up. Newcastle stretch their lead. 31 minutes remaining. The Knights lead 8 points to 4. Defence by Troy Fletcher and Tony Butterfield for Newcastle. Short side the Steelers. Smith through the hole. Forward pass. Now, when is it intentionally forward and when it's not intentionally forward?
Well, the support player was running alongside of Craig Smith. He's had a whale of a game too up front against the much vaunted Newcastle pack. Here he is here. Yeah, well, he's handed up that ball off when he's in front of him to Will Robinson. So
that's got to be a penalty.
Yeah, well, as you say, I think it was intentionally forward, so it should have been a penalty, and that's the rule. That's what the rule states.
And they put it on the deck. Gee, that was a solid tackle from Harragon with the help there of Billy Peden. Dynevor, Gidley, Davis got the ball away to Craigie. Craigie trying to push off. McGregor does so. He'll have too much pace for McGregor, and Owen Craigie will score in the corner. He's been the horrors in defence, but the little fella's come up with a try, and that could very well be a match-winning try for Newcastle with 22 minutes remaining. Beautiful attack from the era by Illawarra, and Craigie scores the first try of the second half.
Good spread ball from Newcastle on the changeover. Here's the ball coming out to the scoreboard side of the ground. He's had a horror today in defence, Craigie, and this is the bloke that he beats now that's been giving him the horrors all day in Paul McGregor. McGregor just falls off. A good shove there from Craigie. McGregor chases him, and I thought he might have had him here. It's a good last-ditch dive there, but he just could. Maybe a little bit of fatigue from Paul McGregor. Good try, Owen Craigie. That's the way to maintain your position in the field.
He'll like that one, Bakes.
He certainly would, Mike, but it's just nice and easy out through the back line, and Davis threw the ball to Craigie. Now, this is the difference. This is what Craigie was doing to McGregor in the first half, grabbing him, and Craigie's a very similar build to McGregor. He's very strong. He gets away from him too quick, scores a great try in the corner, and he'd be very happy with that.
And now making a name for himself in first grade in the Optus Cup. Robbie O'Davis, 2 from 2 this afternoon. His most difficult kick, straight into the sun. He's about a metre in from touch, 19 out. O'Davis strikes it, and it'll hold up, won't make the distance in front of the posts. So Newcastle stretch their lead, just over 20 minutes remain. Newcastle lead 12 points to 4. Barrett fires a very good ball to Timmins. Timmins throws it inside, and that was forward. So the Steelers just guilty of making some errors at the crucial moments.
Yeah, Sean Timmins doing pretty well there to get on the outside of Leo Dynevor. Threw that ball forward, well and truly forward to rampaging Brett Rodwell. But they're getting on the outside of Newcastle, as Neil said before.
For the Steelers. 13.5 minutes remain. They trail by 8. Mia David gives a brilliant ball to the hooker, Robertson. And he's scragged 1 metre inside Newcastle's territory on the last. McGregor trying to do it all himself, throws the big dummy around Darren Albert, did superbly, they keep it alive. Brad Mackay now goes to ground, and Wayne Richards comes up with the ball, but every time Paul McGregor touches the ball, he orchestrates some very good attacking move for the Steelers.
Well, that's just the player he is. He's just all class. He's a very good, honest toiler. Wherever the ball is, he is normally.
What about the never-so-eyed cover defence in Tony Butterfield, who chased him across and got him?
Gidley, a magnificent step. Oh, come back, Neil. Gidley's going to score the try in the corner. Well, Illawarra looked like orchestrating something, and Matthew Gidley's just turned him inside out after a very good run from Scott Conley to race away and score in the southeast corner here at Marathon Stadium. And that is a magnificent try to this young 5'8", who had a great game on Friday night in the City Country, and he's opened the Steelers right up here and scored a great try.
Well, Illawarra, they haven't got any points to show for their attacking here in the second half. Here's the ball here from Clements coming out to the scoreboard side. Does very well, Brett Clements. It's a great ball out wide, straight past Dynevor. Just watch this left foot step here. Just too good for Mayor David, and Matthew Gidley was never going to be stopped there. This kid's confidence is growing week by week, minute by minute. He's a very good player. He's played the full game today after his excellent performance on Friday night. State of origin around the corner. Well, I don't think they could do much worse than Matthew Gidley.
He's a fine young player, Matthew.
When you have a look at the try, it was good work from Clements. He took the ball to the line too, and he had him in 2 minds. It was very well done by Clements. As you can see, this he unloads here. That's Conley, there it is.
Yeah, I thought this is where the try was set up, Neil. That run there, because he turned Illawarra around. They were looking for the scrum to go down at that stage, and Conley, and now with Clements, they just busted him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying there, Mike. It was a good quick play the ball, and Clements took it to the line at him. That's a great step there, perfect step. As you said, Richard, this kid's got all class. He's got a big future in the game. A nice try to Newcastle, and I think that's the issue beyond doubt now.
So Leo Dynevor about to have a kick replacing Robbie O'Davis. Moves in, strikes it, and it's holding up and waved away. So Leo Dynevor unsuccessful with his attempt. Newcastle leads 16 points to 4. really seriously. So those options we were talking about,
Out the window. I'm sure Joey Johns would like to come back straight into the hooker spot too.
Adam Muir, standing, looking to offload, does so. Clements now takes on Tunbridge, gets the pass away to Fletcher, who did very well to bring that one in. Troy Fletcher, he's 8 metres out, now 3 or 4 metres out. Troy Fletcher, desperately close. Robbie O'Davis at dummy half, gives the pass out to Muir, who chucks the ball on the ground, but they should score here. Newcastle, all they had to do was release the ball. They're still 2 metres out from the line. Last tackle coming up for Newcastle. Back they go to Dynevor. Right across the face of goal. Albert's coming. He's got a better sit this time. It goes on the deck. Picked up by Illawarra. And they get back in the field of play. Robinson again. Throws it straight into Sean Timmins' face. Barrett. McGregor. Good ball to Clifford. Great defence by Darren Albert. Knocks Clifford into touch. And they now have 1 tackle remaining. Barrett says, let's get out of here. Robbie O'Davis takes it well. And slips just to, might have faked it. He's straight through Robbie O'Davis. 20 metres to go. He'll score the try, will he, Robbie? Yes, he will. Mackay comes across, can't cut him off. Well, he might have just faked that little fall to the ground, got up and just went again straight through the defence. And he really enjoyed that one, the Poodle. Scoring a try here, right on the death for Newcastle, and here it is. Well,
I don't know if it was a fake or not, but this bloke's an absolute magician. Now, he did lose his footing, he slipped under. Rodwell went straight over the top of him. It's a lax defence there from Timmins and also the winger, but have a look at this. I just don't like the way that Robbie slowed up in the end here. If Brad Mackay could have got a little bit closer, look at him. Oh, the head's back. He loved this. And Brad Mackay, not really much chances, didn't he like it?
Fairly confident, Neil Baker.
You're not wrong. When he took the ball up here, I thought he was just going to fall over and take the tackle. But he slipped over and he can't believe his luck. He slid through 2 easy tackles here. And look, the smile on his face, he starts laughing, and that's why you have a go, Robbie, there. He's laughing all the way, and that's where he slows down. I think he thought he was going to do the big swan dive here, but unbelievable here. He loves all that.
Well, the crowd absolutely loving that. There's the happy wife. Really enjoying that, and he is a character, and I think he's great for the game, and he's in fantastic form at the moment. And I don't think Malcolm really might have been too happy though. He might have a couple of words to say to Robbie O'Davis after. Finish him off, son. So Leo Dynevor, fairly difficult kick, but it's been a good performance by Newcastle, and this will be the last play of the day. As Leo Dynevor, none from one, moves in, strikes it, and it's away to the right. It won't come around enough. So Newcastle running out very good victors here over the Illawarra Steelers. 20 points to 4. Firmly cements them in second place on the Optus Cup ladder. And they started a little bit slowly today. 5 backing up from the City Country game. But it has been, in the end, an excellent performance. They've scored 4 tries to 1. That's a commanding victory to the Knights.
Yeah, it certainly is in the end, but they really did have to work for it. Hats off to Illawarra. They really put it to Newcastle. McGregor was outstanding. I thought Craig Smith up front was very good for them. But Malcolm really worked his bench over pretty well. I thought he might have been making too many changes too often, but that certainly wasn't the case. Matthew Gidley, wasn't he good? Adam Muir, he was solid. Both ends of the park, attack and defence. But I think Newcastle thoroughly deserved winners. Malcolm Reilly's use of his bench today was the key factor, and they've come out too strong in the end.
So Adam Muir with a big smile on his face. Paul McGregor, you just saw in shot there, an excellent game from him, as Richard said. I thought Brad Mackay worked his bottom off all day today, and he certainly could be very proud of his game. 4 individual try scorers for Newcastle: Jason Moodie, Owen Craigie, Matthew Gidley and Robbie O'Davis. 3 second half tries. It was 6-4 at half time, and Newcastle were commanding in the second half. Glen Eyre scored a first half try.